You're watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and you know what that music means. It's time for some fun with Mr. Brad Rambur.
Brown chicken.
What the tech with Brad Rambur?
Ring bump.
Ring bump,
Smaller
yeah.
ring. I had to aim for that.
I know, right? Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Did you have a good holiday?
We did.
Yes. I had a family member that was
Yeah.
had some issues, but I'm glad you're here and we're ready to kick off the new year.
All on this side of the grass, yes.
I sent you several articles over the holiday break, so I was like, he needs to get on the show quickly because there's a lot to talk about.
I got properly hyped up on Christmas cookies and did my homework.
Okay, good. Well, the first thing that I wanted, the first article that I sent you, a soccer mom, I think it says, got kicked out of a Radio City music hall.
A special kind of soccer mom, this one.
Special kind of soccer mom. She was going to see the Rockettes with the Girl Scout troop. That's what it was. It wasn't a soccer mom. She was a Girl Scout.
Scouts in tow.
Girl Scouts in tow. The mom gets escorted out of the building.
Straight out of vaudeville. Got the shepherd's crook, pulled off stage. Yeah.
Embarrassed by everyone.
A little.
So Jason's worried. So tell us why. What happened?
Because she is opposing counsel in some litigation with the venue.
With the parent company, MSG Entertainment. So how did they know? This is why we pulled Brad into it. Do you remember?
They scanned her visage.
They scanned her face.
Yep.
When they walked in, they had cameras to detect facial recognition devices set up around the venue for safety. So this woman works for a law company, a law firm.
The organization that was
in
filing
litigation.
Yeah.
So there's ongoing court, whatever's happening with MSG.
They have a policy not to let them anywhere in the venue.
They can't go see the Rockettes kick and do their thing. Part of this that scares me is the facial recognition software that is in a theater. You're in the middle of New York City. You're going to see a show. So so many questions. How often is this being utilized? Where do we know this is being utilized?
Yeah.
And is it just from pictures being posted on the internet? They're scanning our faces and then we know who can't go places?
So here we are. We're back on the roller coaster, Mary.
Yeah.
So
I know. I have a feeling I'm about to dip low.
So the thing that should really scare you is where else is this happening?
That's what's scary.
So if you step out of your house, not in your hoodie looking like a cat burglar, you're gonna in the public domain. They can scan your face. So is this like Patriot Act, paranoid Tin Hatsville?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wonder.
Well, in this case, and I'm thinking about the article, right? The person was presumably on the property, indoors. I've seen buildings in downtown Houston, as an example, that said property of company, right to trespass can be
Revoked.
Thank you. Look at that word. By the owner.
Okay.
It's literally a brass plaque you just step on in one of the pieces of the sidewalk. So does that mean they go, oh, you saw it, I can take you off? So when they step foot in the building, you have given us permission to film you. Don't know if that did or didn't happen or how that gets legally declared or understood. So out in the world, if you're walking down Fifth Avenue, picking New York again, who knows who's scanning you and deciding what they're going to do with the image. It's just like the AI software that you sign your rights away for whatever what they want to do with the image. They get to keep it and do whatnot.
Right. Well, it goes back. Do you remember the app I think I brought in, right when the show started a long time ago? There was some facial recognition app that turned your face into a cartoon.
Yeah.
And I was like, I did it, and then all of a sudden I was like, why do I want to give this random company my face because facial recognition? So then they just sell their facial recognition software or all the data that they've gleaned from people.
Yeah, there are kind of three parts of the chain. One, you invent the stuff, and then to whom do you sell it? Do you sell it to nation states that want to spy on their citizens?
Right.
Or do you sell it to people to play and have fun with? But the thing is once that stuff's in use, data gets generated, then bucket three, not the nation state, not people playing with it. Bucket three is, where's the data? Whose is it? And then, well, if I have this data, what can I do to sell it and maybe make a little money from it?
Right.
Okay.
Well, is that where we get into the gray zone with TikTok being owned by China? by the Chinese.
Yeah.
And all of our kids are using it, and not just kids, adults are using it too. Celebrities are using it. And I was reading articles that they were trying to get it banned in the United States. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's more than that. It's actually been by law not able to be put on state-owned devices.
Oh,
So
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Sure.
so here's the way the rule works. If a company is run and operated, owned on mainland China, the Chinese Communist Party says that I can have access to your data whenever I want. So by definition, if TikTok, owned by ByteDance is a mainland China company, any data that ByteDance gathers from TikTok, if it gets all the way back there, the CCP can have access to it. And so Americans are having an absolute fit, as you can imagine.
Right.
I wouldn't recommend using it, okay? And I'm looking at you because, we have teenagers.
Yeah.
Mine are busy trying to build silly stuff out of printed artifacts, but maybe yours are using social media.
Well, here's the part of it, because you were talking about, we were talking about the silly app where it's turn your face into a cartoon, and this is currently silly with the dances and the woes and the whatever it is. It's so my kids would die if they just saw me do that, but literally they would die. But they, so it's silly reasoning they're using it just to dance and
Entertain
whatever,
themselves.
entertain. But what is there, facial recognition? Is there things that,
Oh, sure.
there's data they're collecting there that can be weaponized,
Yeah.
right?
If you're a famous person and you do that, let's say they take the images of your face and they make a deep fake of you doing something you don't want to tell your mom about. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, deep fake is a whole nother. I know we had.
But all these things can be put together. It's all technology. I mean, computers really only do the 5 things. They read stuff, they write stuff, they change stuff, they erase stuff, and they make flashing lights on a screen or printed paper, right? And so what are you going to do with that? And so this is where all the conversation is.
We're 4 minutes into 2023, and Brad has me crying and freaking out, having anxiety.
Well, what she doesn't realize is I've gotten her phone, I've given it to the production staff, and they're erasing TikTok on it right now.
I really don't use TikTok. I use it to monitor what my kids are doing. And then every once in a while, someone will send me a funny video. And I'll
So
watch
you're
it,
actually
but-
using Stock Talk, not TikTok.
Stock Talk, exactly.
Yeah, okay, good.
To stalk people, right.
Your children.
My children only, yes. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about the next subject.
All right.
This is an interesting one, and I wasn't sure how much I understood this article. So there's a headline that said billionaires are a security threat, or might be a security threat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Elon was the picture I think they utilized, of course, because it's clickbait. So what's the deal there?
In as few bullets as possible. When I
Yes,
was
you
a
got a
youngster,
minute and a half.
I worked for a government contractor, and the most security threat-ish people were the very senior executives. Well, I wrote my password on a sticky note.
Yeah.
Yikes, don't do that. In this case, they're really talking about Elon and Twitter, and if Twitter is supposed to be the town hall for the planet, which is how it's marketed, I'm using that word very specifically, you gotta have a guy come in and buy it, and it's now essentially private property, and he does what he wants with it. What does that do to all the people who want to use it? Okay, so yeah, he's a security risk. It's no different than Zuckerberg buying most of the island of Kauai, I think. There's a billionaire security risk. That's the security risk for the native Hawaiians who want to preserve that land for that culture.
Right.
So it's the same thing. And so if you can come in and buy it and own it and do what you want with it, and that's not what the user population wants it to really be, it's game over.
Game over. Did you see the movie Glass Onion? We talked about it in the opening.
I see it in my house a lot. I have not.
Okay.
But I love that whole situation with the conservative guy.
Yes, Ben Shapiro kind of sticking up for Elon a little bit, because it's not obvious. No, excuse me. It is obvious that the main character in Glass Onion is an Elon type of caricature.
Well, yeah.
So Ben Shapiro kind of didn't so much say I'm sticking up for Elon, but basically did, and that turned in. We talked about it in the beginning of the show, but it's pretty funny.
And what is Twitter?
Elon's
It's some software that people want to say whatever the heck they want.
Yes.
To whomever the heck will listen.
Yeah.
And maybe might buy some stuff.
Might buy some stuff. Yeah.
And that's it.
They might buy a blue check mark.
I have $8. I'll buy you a blue check mark.
Oh, will
How's
you?
that?
Okay, good.
Yeah, less
Thank
than
you.
the burrito for lunch, right?
Okay, well, we've got to take a break, but we have some more stuff to talk about.
Okay.
We've got Brad Rambur here, cybersecurity expert, also musician, the composer, musician of this song right here that we're listening to. Okay, and so stick around at home. We'll be right back with more America Trends right after this.